What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past week, where we do have a lot of topics to discuss. Of course, the past week where we played Sevilla, Bayern, Madrid, a lot of news around that, and I'm here to cover all of it. Firstly, secret plan for Barcelona to sign Erling Haaland. He is the dream transfer target for Barcelona, and they are planning his signing in the next few years. We have the updates on that. Also, free agent market 2025 is going to be the hottest free agent market that we've ever seen, and Barcelona have been linked with 3 of those players, and Jonathan David, Jonathan Tah, and Alphonso Davies. We'll discuss those options. Also, renewals at Barcelona right now are hot commodity as well. We've already renewed the contract of Gerard Martin and Fermin Lopez, and are now working on the renewal of Pedri, Gavi, alongside Frankie and Araujo. Had the updates on that. Also, a big Araujo injury update as well. Some general news around the club. Espai Barca update, General Assembly update. How Javier Tebas is pushing, and he is pushing heavily, for Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid before Christmas to be played in Miami, Florida. A Spanish La Liga game in America. Absolutely crazy. And finally, we do have some updates around the Ballon d'Or ceremony last night as well. Before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. It would be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by meCarreira. meCarreira is a platform where you can invest in football players by buying shares in them, similar to buying stocks in the financial market. This means you can buy and sell shares in players you believe had the potential to increase in value. Now, the value of the player's shares go up and down depending on how many people want to buy or sell those shares, not based on their performances in matches. meCarreira also has other key features as well, like real-time market, player trading, seasonal events like for the World Cup, Euros, and Copa America, and community voting as well, where you can vote on the next player's stocks to be joined on the market. Now, have you ever been sure that a footballer will become successful? Well, now is your time to put your money where your mouth is and invest in players to prove to everyone that you have the ball knowledge that's needed in football. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and check out meCarreira and invest your stocks in certain players today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past week. We're first going to be discussing players who have been linked with Barcelona, of course, and we're going to be mainly focusing firstly on the free agent market. Now, Mateo Rito has come out saying that Barcelona had their eyes set on signing both Jonathan Tah and Jonathan David as free agents this upcoming summer. Let's discuss both their details. Firstly, in Jonathan David, he's come out saying that David's initial financial demands is a net salary of $6 million per year. Now, that fits very well into Barcelona's wage structure. It's about 130k per week, which is, you know, what we've given a lot of our free agents that have joined us in the past. Christensen, Kessier, Inigo, Gundogan got a bit more because he came in as, you know, a treble winning captain, but that's kind of, you know, the area where it would make sense for Barcelona. Now, with Jonathan David, I rate him, of course, my Canadian brother. I wouldn't mind him. I really want him to maybe bring that down to 100k a week, especially when he's going to be a backup striker to Lewandowski or whoever's going to be the striker. He will not be the main man coming in. He will be another option to have off the bench. Is he better than Paulo Victor? Yes, but who knows? Paulo Victor might have a remontada in January when we're gonna use squad depth. He might come up and, you know, spur the light out. I have no idea, but I do like the Jonathan David option. Next up is, of course, Jonathan Tah. Mateo came out saying that Barcelona are ahead of Madrid in the race to sign Jonathan Tah. It remains to be seen how talks are ongoing, but the Catalan side can take advantage of their good relationship with the defender's agent, Fini Zahavi. Now, I rate Tah as a player, fantastic player, good option to come in for 2 or 3 years. One issue I have: we have about 9 center backs, like you know, Eric Garcia, Araujo, Christensen, Kunde, Inigo, Kubarsi. You have 6 already, unless 2 of them leave, and I'm saying 2, like Eric Garcia plus someone else. This makes no sense. I mean, if Inigo ends up leaving and you bring him in as, you know, free agent out, free agent in, sure, that makes sense, but Inigo is top 5 center backs in the world, so I'm hoping he's not going to be leaving Barcelona anytime soon. I think with the resurgence of how well Barcelona center backs have been this season, I don't see Jonathan Tah happening unless there are sales. Araujo wants out, does not renew. Big offer for Christensen. We end up selling him. Inigo decides to walk. I mean, the only one that I think is really guaranteed is Pau Kubarsi at this point. I think Tah is kind of there in the back, waiting for Barcelona to maybe sort out something center back wise. But right now, I'm very happy with our center backs. I would keep everyone. Maybe just Eric Garcia if he really wants a move out. I don't mind him as a squad player. That's how I really see it at this point with Jonathan Tah. So good player. Wouldn't mind us signing him. But right now we have too many defenders. He will only arrive if center backs leave. That is an absolute guarantee. So keep your eyes on players leaving. Whoever leaves at center back, whether it's Araújo, Christensen, God forbid, Kubarsi, Tah will be the big one in line to come in and replace them. But they're not the only two players that we have been linked with, the two Jonathans, you could say. We have also been linked with another Canadian, and that is my other Canadian brother, Alphonso Davies. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out saying that Barcelona held a meeting with people close to Alphonso Davies after the January transfer window. However, that was months ago, and no significant progress has been made since. His contract renewal negotiations with Bayern Munich are not advancing at all. The feeling between Bayern and Alphonso Davies isn't great. Right now, there is only about a 10% chance of him finding a solution with Bayern Munich. The expectation is that Alphonso Davies will leave on a free transfer this summer. Now, there have been reports that are linking Barcelona with Davies. The question is, will we go for him? Look, you have Balde, and this is big competition. This is not someone that you bring in for coverage and competition. This is someone you bring in to replace Alejandro Balde. So the club have a decision. Do you trust Alejandro Balde, or they want to bin him and bring in Davies? That is up for the club. For me, personally, I would back Alejandro. Again, younger, room to grow, already been in the team, knows the system, style, culture, language. Davies did come in from an outsider, a Canadian brother from the winter side of Montreal. It's going to be hard for him to adapt to the sunny side of Catalonia. Great player, fantastic player. Is he a better player than Balde right now? I would definitely say so, yes. I think Balde can definitely grow to the level of Alphonso Davies that he's currently at. So, and again, he's going to be asking for a lot of wages. Apparently, he's asking for around 300k per week, which again, as one of the best left backs in the world, he probably should be asking for that. I'm not doubting, I'm not, hinting at him whatsoever, but very interesting to see where he goes. I have a funny suspicion he might go to Manchester United, a Premier League, English-speaking club, big team that need and desperate need for a left back. That I think fits them more than, Real Madrid, who have Ferland Mendy, who's alright. They have Ferran Garcia, but I feel like they want to, probably go for Trent more than Davies. So we'll wait and see how things do turn out in this regards. But again, free agents, it's all, based on not only luck, but who you pursue the most and who you offer the most money to as well. Because when you're a free agent, money is, I would say, half the reason why you make the move. So we'll wait and see how things do turn out with these free agent targets. I think right now the most likely option, the most suitable option for the current squad is Jonathan David. But I think Jonathan Tah does have a good option to join as well if potential Barcelona have some center back outgoings. Now, one of the main priorities for Barcelona in the transfer market is to strengthen and keep your eye out on the goalkeeper position, and Barcelona are doing just that. Now, according to Gigentes, Joan Laporta and Deco had a meeting a few days ago with Jorge Mendes to discuss several issues, which we will talk about some of them later on in the video. Main discussion topics were the extension of Lamine Yamal. Again, he's already locked down until 2030, but you want to improve his contract, maybe even extend it a bit longer. And also, the Porto goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. I believe he got 7th in the Lev Yashin Awards last night at the Ballon d'Or ceremony, and they apparently discussed him as a potential reinforcement between the sticks for the Blaugrana side. Again, he's a good option, but he's not an option that wows me. We'll wait and see how Nagi Pena does for the rest of this season. Again, he's coming off the back of a great performance in the Clásico. We'll see how he does against Espanyol, Red Star, and of course Sociedad at the Anoeta. We'll see how Szczesny does when he comes in as well. Will he be great? Will he be mid? Will he be retired? Washed? Stuff like this will all have implications. I don't think the club will decide anything on the goalkeeper until the end of the year. Ter Stegen might come back with one month to go. We'll see how he does in training. If he even comes back, maybe he plays a couple of games as well. So many implications. You can't really just jump to, signing a goalkeeper for sure. But what's clear is that Barcelona are keeping their eye on the goalkeeper market. We also been linked with another goalkeeper as well, alongside Diogo Costa, and that is Lucas Chilaver. He is now being reported by Miguel Rico from Relivo as a name that Barcelona are keeping an eye on. Doing very well for Lille this season. Had a great game against Real Madrid where they won 1-0. A lot of people have been bringing his name up, I've seen from the scouting market, so to speak. So it could be a little decent option as well. But I think, again, with Barcelona, you want someone that's kind of, has some experience or made a name for himself. You don't want to bring in someone that's very inexperienced like Lucas could be. Again, great goalkeeper, great potential for sure, but not, someone to come in and be number one choice for goalkeeper for Barcelona tomorrow is my point. So we'll see how things turn out. But again, Barcelona meeting with Jorge Mendes discussed many topics, one of them being the signing of a new goalkeeper. Now, a signing that Barcelona are planning for the long term is the signing of Erling Haaland. Now, Plettigol of Sky Germany, who's one of the #1 sources in Germany, one of the best sources in the world as well. He's come out saying that Erling Haaland is Barcelona's dream transfer target. However, a transfer is unrealistic at this current stage, as neither the president, Joan Laporta, or Haaland himself is pushing for the move. This might be possible in the next 2 to 3 years. I think Barcelona are eyeing this for summer 2026. I feel like after Lewandowski's good season, they might give him one more with that contract extension, let him walk for free in 2026. I feel like that is the plan. Let Erling Haaland hopefully maybe extend his contract with Man City, but including a release clause for 2026 that's quite low, maybe 150 or under that. But this has Barcelona written all over it. Mbappe at Madrid, Haaland, Mbappe, Clasico, is back. All of a sudden, first time since Messi and Ronaldo was decent. So I think the storyline is written. At some point, the club will have to look for a new striker, and he is, after Lewandowski right now, of course, as Lewandowski is the best striker in the world, he is the next best thing. So we'll see. Don't get too gassed over it. Definitely 1,000,000,000% will not happen this summer in 2025. I think this summer 2025 will be a lot about building the team for a superstar signing in 2026. You want to get all the pieces around, fullback, goalkeeper, sort out maybe the wingers, don't touch the midfield. The midfield is perfect, and then you have basically a whole team and structure ready to go for a superstar signing in the striker position, who of course most likely Barcelona will attempt anyways to sign Erling Haaland. So wait and see how things will turn out, but again, the dream target for Barcelona in the next few years is to sign the Norwegian striker. Now, a player who is very keen on a move to Barcelona, but right now the club are not showing too much interest in him, is Alex Baena of Villarreal. According to Sport, Alex Baena is crazy about joining Barcelona, although he's very comfortable where he is right now. He'd only leave Villarreal if Barcelona calls. It's his dream. The club has only maintained contact with his agent, but haven't made any serious move for him. I rate Alex Baena. I think he's a fantastic player, as I mentioned on the channel numerous amount of times when we play Villarreal or when we're linked with him in the transfer market. But as I just mentioned in the last clip, our midfield is perfect. Gavi, Frankie, Pedri, Olmo, Fermin, Casado, Bernal. Do not touch it. Unless someone leaves, season career-ending injury, there's no point. I think he'd be one of the options to come in if, maybe we sell Dani Olmo or we sell Fermin Lopez. Hopefully not. I think they're both better than Alex Baena. But if we do sell maybe one of those, if we sell both of them or one of them, you want to bring in Alex Baena, sure, crack on, go ahead. But right now, makes no sense whatsoever. Again, the midfield is stocked and also perfect at the same time. So keep your eyes on Baena for the future. The club, need to look for a player of his profile. Fantastic player. I think definitely the level of Barcelona for sure as well. But right now, this transfer makes no sense whatsoever, and that's why the club are not showing too much interest in him. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past week. First up, we have the feature of the 2 backup goalkeepers for Barcelona, apart from Iñaki Peña and Szczesny, and that is Andre Astralaga and Diogo. Kochen. Now, Miguel Rico from Renewal came out saying that Deco wants to see young goalkeepers play this season for Barcelona. Astralaga and Kochen are in the first team dynamics due to Ter Stegen's injury, and they don't play with Barca Athletic. Deco has decided to give them both a chance with Barca Athletic and then promote one of them to the first team in the future. So Deco's plan, squad planning wise, is to have one of these two as one of the options for the goalkeeper maybe next year or the year after that if Ter Stegen's leaving or cannot play again, or we sell Iñaki Peña, whatever the case may be. One of them will be the second choice goalkeeper in the near future. I've been told a lot the club really rates Diogo Kochen internally. I've not heard too much gas or hype around Astralaga. Of course, did well in preseason in the Man City penalty shootout. That's pretty much all I've seen from him. I saw Kochen once in that Boca Juniors friendly. That's pretty much it. Of course, for Barca Athletic, it's a different perspective to the first team, but we will see on the judgment of the coaches, whether it's Alberto Sanchez, the Barca B manager, Deco, Hansi Flick, whoever makes those kind of decisions. We'll wait and see what they decide, but one of them will probably be a backup goalkeeper for Barcelona in the future, and now this will be mainly decided on who will be that choice. Now, a player's future at Barcelona that is getting very thin, very quickly is Ferran Torres. I honestly, before seeing this report, forgot he existed because, of course, right now he is injured. Now, there are reports coming in from England suggesting that Arsenal are among the Premier League clubs interested in signing Barcelona forward Ferran Torres. Queue up and take him. I mean, bloody hell. I think his contract is until 2027 with Barcelona, so this summer you probably would say renew or dip because, 2 years left on his deal. This is probably the best time to get the most money for Ferran Torres. 20 million, I would sell him tomorrow. I mean, we bought him for 50. I think we have, if I'm not mistaken from the last video, about 30 million left to amortize, which is, again, quite a bit. If we can get that, fucking phenomenal. I would just sack him off. I just don't think that he's consistent enough to be Barcelona. I think he's at his peak, good enough to be a Barcelona player, whether he's a starter or not. That's your opinion, but he's just so inconsistent. Whether it's, he'll have his little shark form, then he'll get injured, then he's just, shite. Yes, very versatile forward, right, left, middle, but versatilely inconsistent is what I would say. So, I'd bin him. Not that great of a player, but wait and see what the club do decide. But again, there's always going to be interest for a player like Ferran. Now, a player that left Barcelona last summer on loan that's doing well so far, and the club that's currently has him on loan was looking to buy him in the summer, was Alex Valle. Now, according to Sport, Celtic, who the team of course that loaned him, wanted to include a buy option on the loan deal for Alex Valle, but that didn't happen. The player is now starting to gain promise, and his latest performances invite optimism. He's now, playing more consistently for Celtic, getting a couple assists here and there. I don't know. I think Flick's biggest, I talk about, Xavi's biggest mistake being not playing Casado. I think Flick's biggest mistake is picking Valle or picking Jorge Martin over Valle. But apparently people tell me that, Valle is more talented, he wants to go out there and play more. Sure, that could be the case, but at the end of the day, Barcelona comes first. So the fact that he picked Martin over Valle is beyond baffling to me, and hopefully we'll see how well Alex Valle does. He could be our solution instead of maybe signing Alphonso Davies. You can bring in Valle as that coverage and competition for Ballon. It could have been this season, but it's not, so it is what it is. We'll wait and see with Valle. I think he's doing pretty well with Celtic. Every time he plays well, I think of why the hell Flick picked him over, picked Jorge Martin over him, but game is game. Celtic were very interested in having, a buy option for him, which shows how much they believe in his ability, but we'll wait and see how his future entails this summer once his loan is over. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. I mean, could you start off any poorly? The first update we do have is on Jorge Martin, who is set to renew his contract with Barcelona. Ferran Martinez has come out saying that Barcelona have already reached an agreement with Jorge Martin to renew his contract until 2028 with a release clause of 100 million euros. The player will remain registered with the reserve team for the rest of this season. However, according to the league regulations, he must receive a first team squad number next season if he stays at the club, as he will be turning 23 years old. So he's reaching, the oldest age to be a reserve player. Again, renewal, I understand why the club have done it. He has 1 year left on his deal. You want to retain the value. He might, play with ball that he gets injured and then turns into a world beater. You have no idea. So I understand why the club have renewed him, but hopefully it is just to, make it easier for him to leave next summer. That's all I can really say about that. But game is game, and we absolutely move. The next renewal update is also on another player that's already renewed his contract as well, and that is Fermin Lopez. Mateo Merito has come out saying that Fermin Lopez's contract extension with Barcelona is being finalized until June 2029. They plan to announce it sometime this October. Of course, October ends on Thursday, so I doubt we're getting the announcement anytime soon, but again, the renewal is confirmed internally. Romano also confirmed that Barcelona reached an agreement with Fermin Lopez to renew his contract until 2029. Again, we knew this now for about a month. There's been a verbal agreement. They're just not waiting now for 1-1 rule or whatever the case may be. When they announce it, we don't care, but the renewal is done with Fermin Lopez. Another renewal update we do have up next is the renewal of Rafinha, with the Diario Sport coming out saying that Barcelona believe that a contract renewal with Rafinha will happen. The 27-year-old's contract is up in 2027. So again, like Ferran Torres, 2 years left on his deal. Probably have some wiggle room with Rafinha. Again, we have so many key renewals to do right now that I doubt the club will be looking at him right now, but after this season, I mean, if you can do a quick renewal like you've done with Fermin maybe, or with other players, sure, but I think like a long, in-depth one, it might take some time with Rafinha, but of course, fully deserve the renewal at Barcelona. Now, the next update we do have is on 2 players, and it is on Pedri and Gavi. Fabrizio Romano came out saying that after the contract renewal of Fermin Lopez, the club's priority right now is to renew the contract of both Gavi and Pedri. Again, no mention of Frankie or Araujo. Again, I think they're still kind of in the background, but right now apparently the club have Pedri and Gavi ahead of the Dutchman and the Uruguayan. We also have an update more specifically on Pedri. Firstly, Atletico Madrid came out saying that Pedri's renewal is a priority for Barcelona. Laporta and Deco do not want the player to reach the final year of his contract without negotiating a renewal. First contacts have been made, but there's no significant process. Now, a few days later, we got a big report coming in from Gigantes because Deco did meet with the agent of Pedri, I believe the morning before the Bayern Munich game, or the morning after the Bayern Munich game, to discuss the player's renewal and his contract that expires, of course, in 2026. The feelings are very cordial, and no one will be put on any obstacles to reaching an agreement. The club has a lot of faith in Pedri, and that is why they want to close his renewal as soon as possible. Again, his performances this season have been absolutely exemplary. He's been probably one of, if not the best midfielder in the world. Renew his contract as soon as you can. I wouldn't, give him too much of a pay increase because, again, he's injury prone beyond belief. So I'd keep your eyes on that. But again, one of the faces of Barcelona, his renewal is definitely going to be sorted out. Very quickly, we also have a future update on one of the B team players in Noah Darvik, because he also has the same agent as Pedri. And following the Gigantes report, Hector Pedri, who of course represents Pedri, also represents Noah Darvik, who used the opportunity during the meeting to discuss with Deco the situation of the German midfielder, who's not having much of a good role right now to start the season, but is gradually growing and being more important for Barca Athletic. Noah is aware that he must take a step forward in the reserve team and is working to achieve consistency both in terms of quality and playing time. We thought with Hansi Flick coming in, German, there'd be something there, but right now we've not seen that. Even on preseason, Noah barely played. I thought he would get way more minutes. I think he got like a couple minutes against Man City, and that was it, really. I don't think he played against Madrid or AC Milan, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, we'll wait and see how things turn out. We know that Klopp is interested with the Red Bull group, that he's interested in Noah Darvik. That could be an option there. But again, we bought him for, I think, 5 million. So, if we sell him on for more, I mean, it is what it is. But I think there's a good player in there. We'll wait and see how we do nurture him. But again, Pedri's agent, who of course discussed Pedri's new renewal, also discussed with the club on the future update on Noah Darvik. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. The only injury update that we do have is on the first team captain, with their second out for the season, and that is Ronald Araujo. Now, according to Candecer, Araujo is set to intensify training this week. The idea right now is for him to return at some point in November, very likely after the November international break. I believe we play Celta Vigo and Brest. He wants to come back for one of those games. A lot of debate online about if Araujo comes back, will he become a starter? Look, Araujo is the captain of this team. He's very quick, very good defender, bit sus on the ball. I think he'll be a starter. I don't know who the hell Hans Flick's going to drop out of Inigo and Kubarsi. I would guess Inigo, because Kubarsi on the ball is just a freaking cheat code. But we'll wait and see. I think Araujo will be a great player in Flick's system. The only thing I really doubt about him in the Flick system is his passing ability, because we saw Luis Enrique in the documentary with PSG last season that he targeted Araujo on purpose for these games, mainly because of his poor composure on the ball and also his ability on the ball as well. So that's going to be a big worry, because you have to be good on the ball in the Flick system, because once you get that ball away with the high line, you're on no man's land, and it's almost as similar to suicide. So we'll see with that. Let's wait for him to get fit first, then we'll talk. I think he'll probably be back for the Brest game, like Frank and Gavi. He'll get a huge crowd ovation. Uruguay. So that's what's going to happen with him, and then after that, we'll assess with him. But again, should be getting Araujo at some point in the next month. Let's now discuss some of the news starting Barcelona over the past week. The first update I want to give you guys is some quick updates on the General Assembly that of course took place about a week ago now, the day before the Sevilla game where we won 5-1, where there was two very key things that the members did vote on in that meeting. The first one was the approving the financials for the 23-24 season, which again, Laporta did get a lot of votes in favor, a majority, and basically a clean sweep after Victor Font very heavily pushing the media for the members to disapprove it. He of course got a majority, and also in the budget for the upcoming year for the 24-25, where it was a more dominant winning. So again, I've never seen a president not win of voting in a General Assembly since being a Barcelona fan. I don't know if it's ever happened in the history, but since being a fan, I've never seen it. So until the other day, he also spoke during the election as well. Oh, Barcelona's going to be back on top, the typical stuff. And he also confirmed one more thing as well, that the Dani Olmo transfer was signed for 47 million plus variables. So of course we thought it was for 55, turned out to be 47, so even cheaper than we thought. So we could basically say maybe 50 million for Olmo all in. Happy days. Cheaper than we all thought it was 60 all in. It's actually 50. 10 million saved in my book, so absolute W there. Again, successful General Assembly for the board member. Very long, about 8-9 hours on that Saturday morning, afternoon-ish. But again, the board got what they want. That was the approval of the budget and, of course, the financials from last season. Now, the next update that we do have is on the Espai Barca project that was, of course, discussed during the General Assembly as well, when we're going to be back, and, the season tickets and stuff like that were all released during that General Assembly. Again, the plan is still for Barcelona at some point this season to return to the Spotify Camp Nou, and as you can see on the screen, this is how the stadium will look if and when we do return to the stadium this season. Again, it'll be basically like 60% done. The pitch will be there. You can see the stadium about 60% capacity in total. I'm just gonna skip through this video so you guys get a better understanding of how it'll look. So again, much better than the Montjuic. Look how close we are to the pitch as well. Again, it's basically a half done stadium. You can see that half the crest is gonna be done. This is how it look in the evening, most likely when we do have late night kickoffs. Again, looks fantastic. Much better than it's beyond clear of the Monge week. So the faster we can get in there, of course, the better. So we do also have some other updates as well. There's been some reports coming out saying that, oh, Barcelona are not going to be back to the Spotify Camp Nou whatsoever this season. They're going to stay at the Monge week the whole year. It was actually broken from Relevo, but that was quickly shut down by other outlets such as TV3, saying that this information was false. I will tell you guys this right now for free, 1,000,000,000% at some point this season, we are returning to the Camp Nou. My guess would be end of January, beginning of February. Of course, our contract with the Monge week expires on March 31st, 2025, so for sure, we will be back at the Camp Nou before then. Laporta's been hyping this up. They've already released the season tickets as well for the half season at the Camp Nou. They're tripling the workers there with Lickmack. They're excelling. I think they averaged 900 seats installed a day. So at that rate, it should take them about 70 days or so to get that all done. Which of course 70 days from now is about middle of January. So I think everything's on course. It'd be suicidal if we don't go back, especially in the knockout rounds of the Champions League. We cannot be doing that at the fucking Monge week, man. The Monge week is absolute ass. I see the clips from the fans, singing and stuff. They're so freaking far away from the stadium, from the pitch. It's very hard to create an atmosphere and get the players rallied up. So get by the Camp Nou ASAP. Again, I'm very confident we'll be back there this season. And there's been some reports saying that we're not, but those reports have been quickly shut down by other reports as well. Now, one of the biggest and most controversial topics around Barcelona over the past week has been the news about La Liga pushing heavily for a La Liga match to be held in America, mainly specifically the Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid match. Again, Javier Tebas is pushing for this internally. They've now submitted a claim to the Spanish Federation, UEFA, and FIFA, and are now waiting for approval. Again, they're planning to have this at the end of December before the Christmas break in Miami, Florida. The Atletico Madrid president has come out speaking about the issue, saying that, you know what, we'll play anywhere, wherever they want us to play, as long as it's good for Spanish football. Very political answer. Apparently, Barcelona will also receive a total of 6 million euros for doing this game, traveling, playing, traveling back. We'll get a total of 6 million euros. I believe that's pretty good. I think for preseason, when we go to America, we get paid around 10. So that's, of course, for 2 weeks, 3 games. So 6 for 1 game, 1 trip. Not too bad, to be honest. What's my opinion? I think games that are, fixing this country should stay in that country. That's why it attracts tourism. That's why it excites me maybe to go to Spain and watch Barcelona. This bringing it to America crap. I just hate. I understand to improve the game, you want to bring in VAR, goal line technology. I don't have a problem with that, but changing the game, Champions League, league table format, matches in the Premier League taking place in Australia, matches in La Liga taking place in America, just doesn't make sense to me. I think Barcelona are going to be doing this solely and surely based on the money, but I do have a problem with this. Now, of course, you face every team twice in La Liga each season. One game against Barca versus Atletico will be in a neutral ground in Miami, and the other one will be at the Metropolitano Stadium. So they have an advantage over us, a neutral and away ground. You gotta make them both neutral at this point, because you're gonna give Atletico Madrid a massive advantage in that two-legged tie. Of course, Atletico Madrid are shit this year, but that is beside the point. Because now you're giving them a numerical advantage to get the better over Barcelona over the course of 2 games in La Liga. So for me, it's like, okay, if you're making one in Miami, you gotta make them both. Or put one in Miami, then put one in the freaking another stadium in Spain to make it even. Because there's no way we can have our home game that's supposed to be at the Monge week, our home advantage in Miami, where it'd probably be a split fan base. Some Atletico Madrid fans, some Barca fans, some Real Madrid fans, because they're just bored as hell. What's the point in that? So that's my main quirk. So if we get that sorted out, maybe 2 neutral grounds, I could probably live with this. So we'll wait and see how things will turn out. Again, it's gaining a lot of momentum, but nothing confirmed quite yet. And there's again the president of La Liga, Javier Tebas, that is pushing heavily for this. Now, the next update that we do have is on Barcelona kits in general. We got an update from Memorabilia on Twitter about some of the kit formations this season, and you can expect that Barcelona will be playing in our home and away kits with white shorts combinations. Of course, with our home kit, you have the Blaugrana pants. With the black kit, you have the black shorts as well. But there is going to be a white combination, according to Memorabilia as well. The home with the white shorts we will see against Dortmund in the Champions League. So very interesting. Of course, the women's team have already played with this combination as well. So this is definitely confirmed. Black and white kind of looks nice, but this black, white, and Blaugrana is a bit mid. We also have on the third kit as well. There's going to be a third kit with, of course, the regular shorts that we saw against Alaves, but also with 2 different kind of variations. So there's going to be multiple variations of how Barcelona line up with their kits, especially with their shorts, to avoid, of course, kit clashes with opponents. So watch out for that, I guess. Mainly the white shorts. These two kind of, flow makes sense, but the white ones are going to be sticking out like a sore thumb. Now, we also got an update on a special anniversary kit. Of course, the 150th anniversary of the club will be coming in just a month's time, and there is expected to be an official anniversary kit, and you can see it on the screen right now. Basically, the home kit with the years on the shirt, no Spotify logo as well, badge in the center, Nike logo on the side, maybe a little bit of a golder look to our number and name on the back. That's pretty much it. The club will not play. The team will not play in this kit due to the fact they can't have Spotify. Due to the agreement with Spotify, they have to have a Spotify sponsorship on there, but they don't want to do it for the anniversary kit, so they're just going to release it like that. Again, look, I mean, it's alright. I'm going to buy it, obviously, because I'm addicted, I guess, but it's pretty okay. I wish they could get a little bit something different, but it's basically the home kit with no Spotify logo and the years on the badge, pretty much. So, cool concept. Maybe could have done maybe a different, better kit, but it is what it is. Let me know down in the comments below if you'll be copying this kit or not. Now, in other news, following the fantastic week that Barcelona had against Bayern Munich and Madrid, the confidence and morale of this team is at an all-time high. Now, after the Madrid game in the dressing room, there were clips released by the Barcelona media about the players training in the dressing room to have 3 days off. They were scheduled to have 2. They were asking for 1 more from Flick as a gesture for them winning the game, and Flick said no. I respect it. And then, of course, on Sunday, they had a recovery training session. They tried again to convince Hansi Flick, hey, 1 more extra day off, 1 more extra day off. And he said, I'll see everyone on Wednesday. My freaking gaffer, you know, bloody hell. I love how he, remains firm on his decision. Again, the 2 days off was already scheduled, whether we lost the Clasico or won it. And they were asking for that day off, but he said, no, we gotta get back to work. So, respect the vibe there from Flick. This is coming in, of course, from having Miguel from AES, again, very close to the dressing room, situations and stuff. Now, also, following, Wednesday being a training session, there still will be a bright day, as the first team captain, Ronald Araujo, is planning to have a lunch for the team. According to Kochen, there is a total euphoria and joy around the squad following the incredible results last week against Bayern Madrid on Wednesday after the training session. So again, training session confirmed. There are no 3 days off for the boys. The squad will be having a lunch together at a hotel, and this event was organized by Ronald Araujo as the standing captain. He kind of made the decision, let's have a little lunch, like kind of what the squad did last year for Roberto's birthday, get together, banter, whatever the case may be. No problem whatsoever, but again, this confirms not only the lunch after training, but the training taking place on Wednesday. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss for our end of his videos, of course, in regards to the Ballon d'Or ceremony last night, where yet again, Barcelona dominated the awards. We tend to dominate every single year, whether we play well or not, and it's just football heritage. We, of course, had Lamine Yamal winning the Copa Trophy, the best talent or under 21 player in the world. The women's team also won Club of the Year, and Aitana Bonmati has gone back-to-back for Ballon d'Ors for the women's team as well. Of course, out of the 5 major trophies, or 6, should I say, major trophies, Barcelona have won 3 of them. Again, football heritage. Vinicius borrowed the Ballon d'Or as well. I mean, this week could not have gotten any better. I've been smoking on that Madrid pack for about 3 days now, and will continue to do so until the Espanyol game. So follow me on Twitter, Instagram, where I'll be trolling the heck out of Real Madrid, because it is just absolutely peak right now. But congrats to all the winners, and may we have a more dominant Ballon d'Or ceremony next season. Now, very quickly, on Lamine Yamal, the Copa winner, he will be releasing his new line with Adidas this week. Of course, he's going to have his signature 304 for his area code for where he grew up in Spain. And he's going to be releasing his first signature boots with Adidas. This kid is absolutely flying. Of course, Rodri name dropped him in his Ballon d'Or speech, saying that he was the only one that believed that I'd actually win it, and he will win it in the future. So, man, this kid is on an absolute rise, and I'm absolutely here for it. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your thoughts on the signing of Erling Haaland. Do you think it will ever happen in the future or not? Secondly, on those free agents, who would you sign out of those 3? Thirdly, your thoughts on the renewal. Who do you think will renew out of the 4 key players that need a renewal? And finally, your thoughts on that match between Atletico Madrid taking place in Miami. Are you in favor for it or not? And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.